people, today I am going to recite a small little poem, very small, couple lines, but basically that is going to be our topic that we are going to be talking about today, fam. Today, really short poem goes, people could not see through stormy seas and miss your beautiful soul dancing through the trees. Once again, because that's it. People cannot see through stormy seas and miss your beautiful soul dancing through the trees. What does this mean? Well, this actually has two meanings, at least, minimum, right? But I'm only going to talk about one in this particular video today. Okay, that one meaning is that although you may be changing as a person, a lot of that is going to be internally. You may be around someone or have grown up with someone and they know you to be someone else, but since seeing them last, you've done a lot of soul searching, you've changed internally, you've become smart, you've become wiser, you've gained more experiences, gained knowledge, reformed and refactored the way that you think, so you perceive certain things differently. You would tackle and change and rise to different challenges much differently than you would have in the past when that person knew you. You've become a different person essentially, and you've grown. And that's what the poem recites. It allures to, right? So that part, people cannot see stormy seas, that's your exterior. The water is not clear because it's in motion, it's stormy seas. You have gone through, persevered, different challenges and things like that. But at the same time, because you have done so, it makes looking through those seas difficult. But a lot has gone on underneath those seas. Waves, a lot of movement, a lot of goings on, a lot of changes. And so they miss your beautiful soul dancing through the trees. So they can't see all those changes that have happened, that you have endured, and they cannot see now who you have become, that beautiful person that you have become internally, right? Because you've changed so much and you've attained new levels of beauty because of the challenges and experiences that you've gained and faced, right? So I just wanted to jump on here and throw that miniature poem. I'm not even sure you can call it a poem really, but you know what I mean. There's haikus and things like that out there. You know, screw it, I'm gonna call it a poem. But I wrote that and I was like, yo, this describes this sort of paradigm and this dynamic. So I just wanted to sort of put that forward to you in that way, to just basically describe that, because a lot of you are going to notice that because you have literally been through it, and you're going to notice that maybe a particular person sees you a particular way, but you aren't that person anymore, and you would handle things differently, right? And you notice that disparity because you've grown so much. Okay, so this poem describes that paradigm, but at the same time, to someone else, it may also describe that paradigm to them. You may think, holy crap, this person isn't the person that I knew them to be. They used to be like this. They used to be cool with getting wasted and doing these things and being silly like this. But now it's like I barely know the person, or they're totally different, or they're into different things. What that does is that symbolizes growth, okay? That person's changing, that person's evolving. Stormy seas have changed and evolved that person into someone else that is still beautiful. So it's like, are you able to now appreciate them for the new person that they've become and the new aspirations that they have, the new dreams and the way they see things now? Or do you no longer resonate with that person because you haven't grown, or you're still stuck in the same place? Or maybe you've grown as well and you're into different things that are divergent from this new person, this new beautiful being that that person has become. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? It also shows growth if you are growing into another direction, another you. And that's not to say only people with the same interests can be friends and be in a relationship or meet and things like that. No, that's not what I'm saying at all. People can be on the opposite sides of the spectrum and resonate very well because they've got polar opposites to bring, right? Some of my friends are actually the polar opposite to me, but we clash in a very respectful and meaningful way that allows us both to learn a lot about the opposing side. A different paradigm, different perspective. It doesn't necessarily even have to be opposing. But because of that, we have interesting conversation and we grow together, right? Even though our perspectives and perceptions are very, very, very different. This poem that I've written isn't so much to say that, hey, you can only res with like someone that is the same as you or growing at a similar and the same rate. That's not what that is, and not acknowledgement to. It's in acknowledgement that you have grown and you've changed and you've evolved as a person and become a new being and are continuously so, and there is beauty in that to be appreciated, right? But it's also to be taken into account by a person that is viewing that person in a different light, because they've come to that realization that you have grown, that that person has changed and that person has evolved. Either that they haven't or that they have, but in a different area, a different space. So yeah, I just thought I'd throw that on because it is a very interesting paradigm, and it's something that actually all of us are going to notice at some point or other with our friends, our social group, etc, etc. Now, this can be a negative thing because obviously some people, some experiences can be too much for a person. They can end up breaking some people, or they can make people view things in a different light that doesn't necessarily coincide with your worldviews and your perspectives and things like that, right? It's not necessarily in a negative way, but a different way. But it can also be in a negative way that they sort of grow, right? Grow into the negativity and become a different type of person altogether. But, you know, it's still growth, but in negative areas. And the negative may be what you deem it to be, but it might not necessarily be negative, okay? That's based on perspective, right? Although there is a universal law. So there are sort of, you know, those scales to either side, right? And full spectrum, okay? But you may also have people that grow in a good way. And you'll notice that too. So it's all about, one, how you view these things externally and internally, and the spectrum that covers all, okay? And this mini poem is kind of in acknowledgement of that. A great reason why you shouldn't read a book by its cover. There can be a lot of growth, a lot of goings on there, a lot of thought, a lot of internal conflict battles, a lot of processing, a lot of aspiration, a lot of determination, all kinds of things. It's very difficult to see on the surface, which is why I say again, you shouldn't judge a book by its cover, okay? Don't hold to that. Don't be like, this person is like this because da-da-da-da-da. You know, there may be a lot more to that person. There may not, but there may also be. You don't know. So try and avoid judging a book by its cover where you're able to. And just remember that poem, okay? And I'll read it out one more again. People cannot see through stormy seas and miss your beautiful soul dancing through the trees. I don't think that's too bad. I don't think that's too bad. Like, I like it. You know, copyright Carl Reed. Copyright Carl Reed on that. No, I'm pretty proud of that. But you guys get my drift. Anyway, let me know what you think down in the comment section below. And yeah, what do you think of it? Do you think that's true? Have you noticed that with your friends, your family, anyone that you've come into contact with? Shout out your experience in the comments below. We'll talk about it after the video. Any questions, throw those in as well. I appreciate, love all of you. Thank you so much for tuning in today, and have a great day. And I will see you for the next video. Take care, guys. See you soon.